10 single-player games where you can spend hundreds of hours playing without getting tired of it. In this video, I'm gonna talk about 10 games that might even take you a whole week or month for just a single playthrough. So, let's look at the first game on my list. Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, of course, we have one of the greatest games of all time here. RDR2, the cinematic western open-world action-adventure. The game's main story is really long, and it is a moving and very emotional journey, also one of the saddest game stories I've experienced. Now about the open world? You can explore it like any other normal game, but some may find it more engaging through games like poker, hunting, or bounties. It offers an abundance of interesting side content that will require you several numbers of playthrough and hundreds of hours due to its vast details. I mean, players are still finding a lot of details in the game, almost 6 years after its release. You need to spend around 40 to 50 hours at least to beat both the main campaign and the lengthy epilogue. I am not even counting the countless challenges, side missions, random events and secrets you can do and explore. This is actually a very high number for a Rockstar game. Overall, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a great, long open-world game with many little details and side missions to get immersed in. Skyrim. Let's talk about Skyrim. Can you believe it's been over 13 years and folks are still hooked? This game offers endless exploration. Even without mods, Skyrim is engaging. From scaling mountains to delving into dungeons, there's always something new to uncover. Whether you're battling dragons, hunting for loot, or just wandering, Skyrim's world is full of surprises. But it's not just about exploration. Skyrim's story unfolds in the land of Tamriel. You play as the Dragonborn on a quest to save the world from dragons. You can follow the main story or forge your own path, it's up to you. And the customization options? Endless. Whether you prefer bows, swords, magic, or a mix, there's something for everyone. With countless weapons, armor, and spells, you can play your way. Sure, Skyrim has its quirks, but that's part of what makes it special. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or new to the scene, Skyrim is a must-play. It sucks you in and before you know it, hours have flown by. And let's not forget about the endless side quests. You might start out on one mission, but end up on a completely different adventure. Skyrim is so immersive that you might even forget there's a main story, until you remember, or maybe not. Elden Ring. Now, I am sure almost all of you knows about Elden Ring. It's one of those games where you think you'll finish it in 60 hours, but then you get sucked in and suddenly it's triple digits. Even if you're a seasoned player, you're still looking at around 50 to 60 hours to see it through. But let's face it, most of us aren't that skilled. My first run took me well over 160 hours, and I still felt like I'd barely scratched the surface. It's challenging, no doubt, but it's also incredibly addictive. What sets Elden Ring apart from other games is its sheer scale and difficulty. From Software didn't hold back when creating this world, and it shows. Every corner is teeming with secrets and surprises, just waiting to be uncovered. The map itself is a sprawling masterpiece, divided into 5 distinct regions that offer up a dizzying array of content. Whether you're exploring ancient catacombs, battling fearsome foes, or unraveling the game's intricate lore, there's never a dull moment. So, if you're looking for a game that'll challenge you, immerse you in its world, and keep you coming back for more, just get Elden Ring. Dragon Age Inquisition. Let's talk about Dragon Age Inquisition. It's the third game in the Dragon Age series, and it's a real standout in the RPG world. The open world is huge, and there's tons to do, from quests to random events. Plus, your choices actually matter and impact the world around you. One cool feature is building up your town, Skyhold. It starts off basic but gets better as you play. However, some parts can feel a bit repetitive, like you're playing an MMO. The combat is challenging, the characters are interesting, and the story is full of twists. Dragon Age Inquisition also has an online co-op, and epic dragon fights that can last for hours. It's a massive game with lots of exploration, even if it's not always seamless. But what really sets Dragon Age Inquisition apart is its world building and characters. It's one of those games you can sink hours into and still find new things to discover. So if you're a fan of RPGs, this one's a must-play.
We're getting close to the rift. You can hear the fighting.
Who's fighting?
You'll see soon. We must help them.
Yakuza 5. Now, here we go again. Time to talk about one of my favorite game series, Yakuza, and Yakuza 5. It is a game that's hard to put a definitive time on. If you're just rushing through the main story, you might clock in around 35 to 40 hours. But if you're like me, getting lost in all the side content, you could easily spend over 100 hours exploring the streets of Japan. The main story itself is a hefty 40-hour journey, but it's the side activities that really steal the show. Yakuza games are known for their quirky and entertaining side missions, and Yakuza 5 is no exception. Whether you're belting out tunes at karaoke, racing tiny electric cars, or even engaging in some, let's say, unconventional activities, there's never a dull moment. Speaking of unconventional, let's talk about the bizarre encounters you'll have in Yakuza 5. There's literally a mission in this game where you fight with a giant monstrous bear. I mean, where else can you fist fight a giant bear? Damn, that was one hella iconic mission. It's just one of the many absurd yet oddly satisfying moments that make Yakuza games so memorable. But it's not all about the craziness. Yakuza 5 also delves into serious themes like loyalty, betrayal, and redemption as you navigate the complex world of the Japanese underworld. Each playable character has their own story arc, adding layers of depth to an already rich narrative. So whether you're in it for the main story or just looking to goof off in the streets, Yakuza 5 offers something for everyone. Cyberpunk 2077. When I played Cyberpunk, I spent about 90 hours exploring everything the game had to offer. I tried different versions of the main character and went through all the endings, which added up to a lot of gameplay. Despite its rough start, Cyberpunk is just a damn good game. As of now, I've sunk more than 150 hours into it, completing as many side quests as possible. These side quests feel like their own stories and add a lot to the game. I played and completed it on my PC last year and haven't had any issues. The guns and blades feel great, with plenty of mods and upgrades to keep things interesting. Also, one-handed blades are my favorite for close combat. I also enjoyed riding bikes around Night City a lot. Exploring the city is a blast, with lots of hidden Easter eggs to discover. Overall, Cyberpunk 2077 is a gem of a game. CD Projekt Red did a great job creating an amazing world to explore, and the game is only getting better. I highly recommend it to any open-world RPG fan. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. One of my favorite game of all time. Witcher 3 is an exceptional open-world RPG that offers a rich, detailed, and engaging narrative. It's like one of the longest open-world games out there, taking approximately 120 hours to complete the main story, and I am not even counting the DLCs. Also, the game's gameplay remains enjoyable as players progress through it, with the endgame ranking it among the greatest games of all time. Witcher 3 is a richly crafted fantasy world with a fleshed-out character, Geralt of Rivia, working as a monster hunter for hire, and they are called as the Witcher. The main questline revolves around searching for Ciri, his adopted daughter, who is being pursued by the Wild Hunt, a mystical force of warriors. The storyline is very interesting, with side quests feeling like the main quests, and as they are a big part of the story. Beyond the narrative, world design, and graphics, there are numerous gameplay options. Though personally I find the swordplay system a bit clunky, but the overall combat system is coherent and cool. The game's attention to detail is evident in its beautiful and expansive design, even with modern graphical features. Thanks to the next-gen update, the game looks absolutely beautiful. So in summary, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is an incredible game with a rich world, compelling characters, and engaging gameplay. It is considered as one of the greatest role-playing games of all time, and continues to hold up well even after being released in 2015.
Recently.
Knowing you, it was probably filthy.
Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, Kingdom Come Deliverance stands out in the RPG community for its realistic medieval setting, inspired by Bohemia. Instead of dragons and magic, you'll find swords and swashbuckling adventures. It's not your typical RPG, but it's worth giving it a chance. You start as a poor peasant, and work your way up to becoming a knight in a traditional medieval world. It's a different experience, but it's worth investing some time into. What sets Kingdom Come apart is its realism. You won't find any special powers here, just you, a sword, and the world around you. It takes some getting used to, but once you do, you'll appreciate the incredible attention to detail. Survival is a big part of the game. You'll need to eat, sleep, and plan your actions carefully. The world feels alive, and you feel like a part of it. The main quest alone can take a good amount of time, but if you're a completionist, there's even more content to explore with the DLC. With all the added content, you could easily spend over 100 hours in this world. Despite its challenges, Kingdom Come Deliverance has found a dedicated audience, especially among PC players. It's a unique and immersive RPG experience that's worth checking out. Days Gone. Days Gone was released on the PS4 back in 2019, and well, didn't get all the attention it deserved upon release, but it offers a unique take on the zombie apocalypse genre. You play as Deacon St. John, a biker on a quest to find his wife in a world overrun by the undead. The game's world is richly detailed, say reminiscent of The Last of Us, but on a larger scale. Whether you're cruising on your bike or engaging in intense gunfights, the gameplay is satisfying. The bike itself feels like a character, and looting and crafting add depth to the experience. You'll scavenge everything from abandoned buildings to the wilderness, facing off against various human enemies and wildlife along the way. Speaking of enemies, the Freakers are the most terrifying aspect of Days Gone. They're not your typical zombies, they're living humans infected and mutated, adding a new level of terror to the game. Encountering a horde of Freakers is a heart-pounding experience for sure, that you won't soon forget. While the narrative may not be groundbreaking, it's still engaging, with memorable characters and plenty of twists and turns. Despite being developed by a relatively small team at Ben Studios, Days Gone offers a vast world to explore, filled with main missions and side quests to keep you entertained for hours on end. Whether you're a completionist or just looking for a thrilling open-world adventure, Days Gone has something to offer. With its immersive gameplay and richly detailed world, it's a game that deserves a second look. And by the way, it's on PC too. If you are planning to buy, my advice, first few hours can be rough for some people, but stick to it until the end. It's a damn good game, everyone. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3, the latest RPG set in the Dungeons & Dragons universe, is an absolute masterpiece. From character creation, to exploring the vast world and engaging in thrilling turn-based combat, every aspect of this game is carefully crafted to immerse players in its rich narrative and its amazing gameplay. The depth of Baldur's Gate 3 lies not just in its challenging combat, but also in its intricate dialogue and branching storylines. Every decision you make, every character you interact with, shapes the outcome of your journey, ensuring that no two playthroughs are alike. The game's replay value is immense, as you are tempted to try different characters and explore alternate paths, each offering a unique experience. The story itself is very interesting, spanning 3 acts filled with emotional highs and lows. The well-developed characters, both companions and NPCs, add layers of depth to the narrative, making every interaction feel meaningful and impactful. Drawing inspiration from Dungeons & Dragons, BG3 incorporates dice rolls into gameplay mechanics, adding an element of randomness and strategy. While it may take some time to master, the gameplay mechanics are both fun and rewarding, keeping players engaged throughout. Visually, Baldur's Gate 3 may not be groundbreaking, but its detailed world and immersive environments create a truly atmospheric experience. Overall, this game deserves all the praise it has received, including its well-deserved Game of the Year title. Whether you're a seasoned RPG fan or new to the genre, this game is a must-play.
Of course it does! You would choose strangers over us?
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed my list. Feel free to suggest more games, and see you later.